Useless Demon Lord. Let's continue this story of, well, the one from the title, the Demon Lord, but supposedly useless. And we actually see her right here, right now. That's true. But yeah, the truth has been revealed to sort of subordinates. Let's find out what exactly we'll do, how it will proceed still, right? It's hard not to be on the edge after recent events. So the Demon Lord says. But I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job of keeping my irrational fears in check lately. Or at least I hope those fears are irrational and in check. The way the others treat me has really not changed much, if at all. Of course I do my fair share of reading too deeply into the way they act around me, but anything I can pick up on is, well, within the realms of, I'm just imagining things. Kind of makes you wonder if they already had me figured out from the start. Morning, Lucille. Good morning. A simple greeting between the two passerby in the hallway. If there are any, I'm going to murder you in your sleep, human. Vibes from her 2 words of greeting, I certainly don't notice them. Swish. Oh, she looked back, by the way. There it is again, her tail. Was that really just an accidental contact? Because I swear she went right for my butt that time. Nice. My eyes catch Tresses as we both glance back over our shoulder at the same time. But she doesn't say anything and continues walking. Boom, chicka bum boom. That kind of vibes. At dinner time I see something I never expect to see in a medieval fantasy world. I mean, I guess I don't know enough about food culture of the Middle Ages to really say whether or not it's anachronistic, but that golden crispy exterior is unmistakable. Fried chicken. Chicken! I make to ask one of the maids to pass the plate over, but someone else sees my line of sight and guesses my intentions. Is this what you're after? Here you go, Lucille. Oh, yeah, thanks. While I reach over to take the plate from her, for I see that she's holding it in a way that doesn't leave much room for grabbing without accidental finger brushing. Ever the adult schoolgirl that I am, I'm careful to avoid it, so I take hold of the edges of the plate. Oh, hold on. It's heavy. You'll drop it like that. There is finger brushing up plenty as she pointedly readjusts my grip, innocently assuring that the overfull plate of fried goodness doesn't fall and go to waste. No extra intentions whatsoever. Eye contact, a subtle smile. No extra intentions whatsoever. At the other side of the table, a certain someone makes a face like her appetite was just ruined. Back to studying. Yeah, I might not be in position to be serving as a military leader of any sort anymore, but there is, of course, much I still need to learn about this world. At least now, Tres can more accurately focus on the gaps in my knowledge, from the perspective of teaching someone from an entirely different world. Our study sessions have taken on a bit more casual tone, at least for now, maybe a bit more than a bit. So, this town here called Shadow, known for raising all those sheep-like creatures, I mean sheep, right? That whole country is called Shadow too. Is that the capital? I keep misremembering. It was the capital when their nation was being founded, but it's a pretty tiny place by today's standards. The current capital is right over. She scoots to the end of her usual couch that's closest to my chair and leans over. Quite close. Here. What is it? Just a hiccup, sorry. The angle she was leaning, her loose collar, the light from the fireplace, everything lined up as if calculated, and the result, if I had averted my eyes just in time, I would have caught more than a glimpse of black lace. No way. No way. Yes way. Come on. Later that day, lying down in my room, I stared helplessly up at the other side of my bed's canopy, tracing imagined shapes in the grain of the wood. I'm imagining things, of course, and I don't just mean these wood shapes. This is the tried and true Lucy Brown answer to this kind of situation. Triss isn't the sort to go about her advances in a roundabout way like this. Like I'm imagining, I mean. If she were hitting on someone, which simply cannot be case here, it'd go more like, "Howdy, stranger. I'm a succubus and you're kinda cute. Might I invite you for dinner? If you know what I mean." Right? I let out a groan, remembering those few times in college where someone in my class, sis, gave off what could in retrospect be read as signals, but which could just as easily not be. And how much time I wasted agonizing over those what-ifs after the fact. I'm being ridiculous. I don't want to repeat that fantasizing incident from before. No more letting my thoughts run away from me. Let's face it, I'm a mess both physically and emotionally, and I don't even belong here. Dress actually has her shit together and has absolutely zero reason to be going for me. It's really just as simple as that. But you know what if, right? Lately, Dress has really taken charge when it comes to official duties. I already admired her work ethic quite a bit, and the fact that she's able to do even more than she was already doing has me in awe. She's practically usurped me as the boss of this place, for that in itself isn't a particularly difficult thing to do. However, I don't want her to have to do too much. I asked her about our future plans and about when she'd start having some things for me to do, and she simply said, "Soon." Seems there is still quite a bit of setup work to be done before I can start using my royal magic to really make a difference around here. Frankly, I'm itching to do anything besides lying around and taking naps. I'm tiring of resting. Yeah, what a concept, right? I wonder if things are like this. Can I someday be useful after all? If it's for Tress, I'll do whatever I can. And, for the others too, of course. Yeah. I've decided to go visit the library again for a change of pace. Warm and fizzy feelings putting a spring in my step. This amount of cheerfulness may be uncharacteristic for me, but it's kinda nice, you know? I'm safe here, and when I'm finally able to put my unreserved powers to use to help people, I'll be able to stop feeling like such a parasite. For the first time in as long as I can remember, I don't feel any, or at least as much, of the usual crushing anxiety. Swept up in the mood, I raise my head and start to hum a tune as I walk. Oh boy. The first note is immediately interrupted. What the heck? I froze in my tracks. A few drops of something cold start trickling down my neck. Cold. So demon blood is cold. Blood! It's a very shallow cut, but it hurts. I force myself to turn to the left, where a glowing white spike of pure magic is embedded deep into the wall. The solid stone wall. It fizzles away into nothing, and hurried, muffled footsteps nearby, perhaps being partially silenced by some spell, quickly fade into the distance. Someone just tried to kill me. I almost died. If I'd raised my head a second later, that spike would be stuck in my skull rather than in the brickwork right now. Who? One of the generals? Someone else from the castle? An intruder who received leaked news of my inadequacy? The hope and optimism I'd there to cultivate has been promptly dashed in seconds. That's what I get for holding too much hope in the easy way out. Before anything else, I should find somewhere safe. The library probably won't be. The halls definitely aren't. Damn it, why? I struggle to hold back tears. Can you blame me, really? Okay, no, let's not get this dramatic right away. Maybe this too will have surprisingly simple solution. I'll just ask Tress, and she can... For how long will I rely on Tress to take care of all my problems? I mean, of course it's important to alert her about what's going on, but she's so busy right now. And then I shiver when I remember what Zen told me the other day about Tress killing the previous demon lord. From what I understand, causing problems on purpose is kind of Zen's MO. But this is so much more than just a harmless prank. Looking at this objectively, even if I trust Tress and really don't want to suspect her, this could be her doing, right? Circumstantial evidence rules out pretty much everyone else, and that glowing white spike of magic matches her signature spells exactly. I know enough about this world's magic to say whether it's possible to mimic that stuff. I probably could with my royal magic, but what about everyone else? And now that I'm thinking about it, her flirting could have been her way of getting me to let my guard down around her. Unfortunately, this sounds more plausible than the idea that she could actually be into me. I have to start keeping a closer eye on her, and Zen too, in the event that this was an attempt to frame Tress. But would she do that? Aren't they close friends? Again, I lack the information to say for sure. It's not safe to make assumptions when my life is on the line. I'll know for sure soon enough. Nothing in this castle can escape my detection, and if someone's movements are odd, I'll be the first one to notice. For the time being, I cast a spell to clean the blood off my neck and close the wound. At the very least, I won't be an easy target anymore. They got a shot past my shell because I was expecting an attack, but I'm totally alert right now. I can just barricade myself in this room, ask for meals to be delivered to me. Yes, I'm used to living like that. I'll be alright, I can do this. What? No. Don't lock yourself up like that, come on. Yay. Hey, you know, this isn't so bad. It's not that much different from how I originally expected things to go when I was first summoned to the castle. I've made the proper arrangements, and the usual meals are indeed being delivered right to my door. Obviously, since it's the maid doing delivering, Tress was made aware of the situation right away. She expressed some concern, but I think I was at least somewhat convincing when I told her it was nothing to worry about. After all, I really am fine. I can totally handle this by myself. Oh nice, breakfast here. I get up from my seat to retrieve it. Naturally, I make sure my shell is still up, and am careful not to open the door any wider than is necessary. I quickly thank the imp carrying the tray of food, then close the locked door again. Eggs on toast and a nice cup of hot tea. Smells great! When I was younger, breakfast in bed always sounded wonderful. The idea still had its appeal for me as an adult, but I imagine the novelty would have worn off pretty quickly, considering I already spent most of every day in bed back then. But hey, for now, at the most, it's nice. Just chilling here, and did I mention the food smells great? 'Cause it does! I cast a poison detection spell. Little poison detected. Yeah, figures, doesn't it? I swiftly dispose of the thought that starts to bubble up in my brain about how Tress would find it easier than anyone else in the castle to poison food delivered by her own mates. No need to be hasty, everything is still fine here, all within expectations. I've fortified the room against pretty much any possible method of assassination I could think of. Every opening is sealed and monitored with my magic, and anything that does get through would have my nigh indestructible shell to contend with. My shell, when did it deactivate itself? Wouldn't it deactivate when you, use too much mana? Okay, you still have it. Can't keep slinging it up like this, gotta stay constantly alert, no matter how mentally taxing it is. What about when you sleep, though? The demon generals can't help but notice a very conspicuous absence in their number today, and for the past few days as well. Lucille, the current demon lord, may have been of a generally private sort who kept to herself more often than not, but she would always, at the very least, attend meals on time. You would know that a woman like her enjoyed food so much just by looking at her, but you'd know it was true if you'd seen her eat. What do you mean by that? She would always fill her plate with a little bit of everything on the table, carefully keeping portions separate so as to better enjoy the taste of each one individually. Okay, that's nice. And without fail, she would always go for seconds. She was a healthy demo with a healthy appetite. But now, for the first time, she's nowhere to be seen. Her usually colorful plate sitting alone and empty at her usual seat.
How did boss go? She's been gone for days and she never misses dinner. Should I go fetch her something? Ah, well, just asked to have her meals brought to her room, for she didn't give any particular reason as to why. Maybe she just needs some time alone after the stress she's been through lately. I'm sure we all noticed how carefully she puts on a front for us, but for an ordinary human to suddenly find herself in this environment, it's no wonder she's having a hard time adjusting. Really? Seemed pretty carefree to me, sleeping all day and whatnot.
To be frank, I had a feeling, even before she came out to us about it. Her behavior reminded me a lot of myself from a few years ago.
Were you like that as well?
Oh yeah! You were originally just some average schmuck from another world too, right? Would be pretty crazy if you were both from the same one.
It certainly is a possibility.
Just gotta hope this girl doesn't slaughter everyone who summoned her like you did, yeah? If she's even got it in her to take any of us on, that is.
Slaughter. I really only did what I had to in the end. It was a kill or be killed situation after all.
In that case, we should be fine if we just don't try to kill her, right? You got it right! Would take a real scum try to kill such a poor, helpless, useless little creature like her for sure. But man, speaking of creatures, would you look at us now? A regular bacon of representation here. 2 demons, 2 monsters, and 2 humans. Would almost make you wonder why we're still called the Demon Generals at this point, huh?
Did she move her eyebrows? A bit.
You won't have to worry about that
You won't have to worry about that imbalance for too much longer. I'm planning to resign soon now that my blade is no longer needed. I'm sure there's more I can do for human-demon relations out there than from a military position like this one anyway.
Oh, look at you little turncoat, you! You better be glad we don't try to abandon the cause and you'll be executed kind of operation here anymore, Peter boy.
If it's you doing the executing, then I have nothing to worry about. Our win rate proportion is due to skew towards another win for me by our next match.
You and your damn mouths, I swear, fucking nerd! Anyway, what we're talking about again? Some forgettable chick, right? I think the only reason you could find Lucille forgettable is because of how over the top your own personality is, Zen. Haha, maybe so, maybe so.
While the rowdy conversation about our conspicuously absent Demon Lord continues, the other 2 generals are keeping to themselves. Gummy quietly and contentedly attacks their meal, seemingly without a care in the world. They will always do their own thing, regardless of any drama in the rest of the castle. As far as they're concerned, this is a nice place to eat and sleep in peace without being constantly and futilely attacked by would-be predators out in the wilderness of the Demon Lands. In fact, the only reason they were appointed a position here was because, simply put, nobody was physically or magically capable of removing them after they wandered in one day. As long as they continue to be fed, they will do whatever is asked of them, and then return to whatever it is that a slime does to occupy itself all day long. Interesting. However, at the moment, they do feel a twinge of uneasiness somewhere in whatever passes for a brain in their gelatinous body. It's none of their business right now, since the uneasiness isn't coming from their own thoughts, but rather from a certain someone else's.
I'm sure you feel that something is wrong too.
Whoa, what's this? That strong, silent, scary, and cool Grusha has decided to speak to me, thinks Gummy, perhaps with many extra drawn-out vowels.
Maybe. Lucy can handle it, for she's very strong.
Grusha too is not one to intrude on the business of others, but it's simply not possible for him to put this matter out of his mind for too long. After all, the small group of imp mates that are always trailing along behind him have been gossiping about their reclusive Demon Lord non-stop lately. They said that she rarely ever shows her face, even when she opens the door to accept the food that they bring her, but she always has her guard up every time they see her like a caged animal backed into a corner. As a sort of midpoint between demon and monster, the imps feel a similar empathic link to the Demon Lord as Gummy and Grusha do. Her fear and mistrust could never escape their notice. Without any more information than that, all there was to do now was observe. Just that? The dining and idle chatter continued for a few more minutes until everyone was finished. As usual, those who finished early didn't bother waiting for the others and simply left when they were done. Tress stares idly at her empty plate. Her thoughts have been occupied by the Demon Lord quite a lot lately, for it would hard for them not be considering how much time they had spent in each other's company. Strangely, she already misses those study meetings of theirs. Watching Lucille's hard work gradually bearing fruit gave her warm feelings that she didn't often feel for other people. Now Tress feels responsible for possibly having driven the poor woman to the corner with the path she convinced her to take. If only there was a way to let her know that she isn't alone. This really sucks. It's now. I can't remember the exact day I started doing this, but I think it's the 5th day since I hauled myself into this room. I thought I mastered the shut-in life by now, but it's totally different without internet to distract myself. Exactly. That's definitely true. The maids have started bringing me a few books with my meals, and although I didn't ask for this, I appreciate it greatly. However, there's only so long I can stand the unbroken hours of just reading and sleeping. I know I'm so weak-willed, it's surprising that someone like me was able to survive even a single day with an assassin after me, isn't it? Actually, to tell the truth, the attacks have been quite infrequent, and I'm entirely safe as long as I'm not in the hallways. I do have to leave my room to go to the bathroom, but the occasional spells that are flung at me from the darker corners aren't anything I can handle if I keep my guard up. That's the key here for if I keep my guard up. Being constantly on high alert has been so draining, and I'm too wired to get much sleep either. In the past 5 days, I've had about, let's see, somewhere around 3 or 4 hours of sleep a day. Feels just like I'm back in school again. That's unhealthy. Speaking myself right here. A person that tries to get out of this problematic scheme, okay? Gotta get more. And by the way, I still have to detoxify every meal. Would you believe that even the silverware was poisoned? The tray as well. Just in case I get too hungry and decide to try to eat that too, I guess. The good news, at least, is that I feel like I can confidently rule out Tress as the culprit at this point. She's busy all the time, and I can always sense her location as she goes about doing important person things. Unless she's got the mates in on it, but that's, you know, bless their little hearts, they do their best, but they're definitely not capable of killing anyone even if they wanted to. Then on the other hand, yeah, there are plenty of times where I can't locate her at all. Pretty damning evidence right there, it's honestly a relief. I hear a knock at the door. Alright, it's about lunchtime now, isn't it? I set down the book that I wasn't so much reading as I was blankly staring at the same paragraph for the past 20 minutes and get up to answer the door, carefully, as always. I take the usual tray of food from the maid, hovering just outside the room, but as I attempt to shut the door... Nice. The little imp has wedged her entire body into the gap. Oh no, I didn't hurt her, did I? I'm too stunned to react as she manages to squeeze herself in the room, then brushes off her uniform and addresses me as if nothing happened.
Lady Lucille, Lady Teresa requests your presence after you have finished with your meal, although she has said that she will understand if you do not wish to see her. If you do, you will find her in the lounge, and I'm sure you might have guessed.
Teresa. Alright, that was her full name, wasn't it? Okay. I don't like the thought of leaving my safe haven here, but it's only to the lunch, and Tress will be there.
If that is a yes, then I'll wait here until you are done eating and accompany you afterwards.
Yeah, thanks. I perform my usual ritual of unpoisoning the food and dig in. Baked salmon with butter, sauce, and a bit of lemon. Delicious! The maids have done a really good job of figuring out what I like. Having cooks who can telepathically pick up on my feelings and desires is the best. I still a few cautious glances at the one in my room a few times while I eat, because you never can be too safe. She's currently rolling around on the bed, tackling the cushy pillows and quickly becoming a blank blanket burrito. No concern for rolling up her uniform, apparently. What right does a monster have to be so cute? Huh. It's only been a few days since my last time in here, but it feels like ages. Glad to see the fireplace is still just as cold as I remember it. I stayed on guard during the walk here, but we made it miraculously unassaulted.
Lucy, it's been a while.
I guess so. Sorry about that.
Oh, she called me by my nickname. It's a nice feeling, but I'm not in the mood to savor it.
I start to sit down in my usual chair, but she tells me that it's fine if I want to sit next to her today. How could I refuse? The slightly chilly room feels much warmer next to Tress. How can our bodies be so warm, even though our blood is cold? How mysterious. Silence hangs in the air for a bit. She was the one who called me here, so I was kinda hoping she'd start the conversation. I'm not sure what to say first. Yeah, my bad. I've just been fighting for my life for nearly a week, and I strongly suspect that the one behind everything is a close friend who you've known for way longer than you've known me, and that's all, no biggie. I suppose it would be better to avoid the topic after all. Tress sighs, and then finally starts to speak.
I suppose I owe you an apology. I pushed you open up in front of the others, even if it may not have been what you wanted to do. I'm sure you must feel like an outsider now, with nothing to do. It must be difficult, so I'm sorry.
Hey, I do appreciate your consideration, but it's fine. They would have found out eventually, even if I didn't say anything. I've just got some stuff I'm dealing with at the moment on my own. I'll be fine. Sooner or later, I'll catch Jen in the act. Then I will deal with the situation my own way. Probably.
You don't look so sure about that.
Hey, I guess not. But it's nothing you need to worry about anyway.
So you've told me, but of course I would worry. From what the mates tell me, you've been anything but fine.
Right, naturally they'd be able to pick up on more than just my favorite foods.
If you don't want to talk about it, then I won't push you anymore. But I don't want to assume you for yourself that I don't care what happens to you. Soon it will be a month since you came into our lives. Perhaps it's unprofessional of me, but Demon Lord or not, consider you to be a friend.
A friend, huh? The words slip out before I have a chance to think about them.
What is being just friends not good enough for you?
I didn't say that.
That is what you were thinking, isn't it? Lucy, forgive my forwardness, but I haven't been missing the signals you've been sending me. As a succubus, it's easy to pick up on when someone is into me. And besides, I've been sending my fair share of signals as well, even if your lack of self-confidence makes it hard for you to pick up on them.
I guess there is no point in denying it. You figured me out pretty well, huh?
To be honest, I'm into you too. You're cute.
Her hand slides up to my shoulder.
If you're interested in taking things further between us, or just need something to take your mind off troubles, I'm right here.
Doesn't take a genius to guess what she's insinuating. The concerns of my upper brain are quickly removed to make way for those of the lower brain. What? I've actually never heard a woman say that about herself. I'd say this doesn't feel real, but nothing has felt real for as long as I've been a Demon Lord, so this may be happening too. Oh dear, this is the most worked up I've been in a while. If she's really fine with someone like me, then...
But if you're not interested, or you just need some time to think it over, it doesn't have to be right now.
No, I'm okay with it, but I've never done that before, so... Oh, Lucille.
Oh, that's completely fine. I'll take the lead and we can stop at any time if you're feeling uncomfortable. So come here.
She pulls me onto her lap, unfastening my big old heavy cape and dropping it to the floor, cause that would only get in the way, right? Then she wraps her arms around my waist and I'm close to her now that I've ever been with anyone before. Interesting, Lucille, interesting. This is not a bad CG. Feeling her tail join her arms in embracing me catches me off guard. That thing really is opposable, isn't it? Now that I'm straddled up her thighs, I marvel again at how warm she is despite being a demon. For I'm sure I'm giving off plenty of heat of my own right now. Between the warmth and the gentle secureness of her grasp, it should be easy for me to relax, but I can't help that I'm still super tense all over.
It's okay, relax. Take it easy.
I steady my breathing and look into Tress's eyes. It's awkward at first, and I keep glancing away, but I can't stay shy forever. Wait, you sure there is no chance of someone coming in here?
I'm sure both of us will. But no. I asked a few mates to stand watch at the doors, so there shouldn't be any interruptions if that's what you're asking.
Oh my god, did Chili just... Okay, no, don't get flustered, keep steadying that breathing. I'm suddenly not sure what I should be doing with my hands right now. I freeze up for a bit, then simply encircle my arms around her neck. That feels about right, I think. In doing so, I brush against her long blue hair. It's silky and smooth, and it has a faint but fragrant smell to it. Much more appealing than mine. It's just been magic.
I've just been magic? Probably should be, it's more like I've just been casting magic to take care of my hygienic needs, but maybe there's still something to the good old right and true shampoo and conditioner method. Or maybe her magical treatment also includes an aromatizing effect. Lots to think about there, yeah.
Yep, that's it. Ready to keep going?
Tress asked softly, and I realized that while I was going through those silly, inconsequential thoughts, I actually did manage to start calming down. Rather than answering with words, I leaned in for a kiss. May as well take the initiative at least once, right? I feel Tress' mouth moving against mine as she smiles, and hear a low, muffled laugh from her throat. That's not the reaction I would have hoped to get from my first kiss, but somehow I know that she doesn't mean it to make fun of my awkwardness. I keep the kisses coming, some short, some long. Our teeth collide a few times, but that's okay.
That's not okay.
Then again, like first kiss, yeah, probably we would expect it to be awkward, yeah. I honestly don't remember if I expected it to be awkward, the first one. I might have had, but I guess from the perspective of time, I guess you expect the case of the past that was awkward. Fuck, I don't know what I'm saying right now. Basically, what I'm getting it to is the first kiss is always awkward, yes. Anyway. Just think I'm getting the hang of all this. The sudden feather-like touch of Trust's hands gliding up my leg and under my skirt makes me jump a little, holding back a yelp.
Shall we take this a bit further now? It's up to you, Lucy.
More kissing. I nod with a bit less composure than I would have liked to. So yeah, we took it a bit further. Connection terminated!
Dude, this is a good one. I should use something like that for videos. Usually it's like... well, obviously if it says CG, I would drop like... usually I drop Kaion's Yui Hirasawa with like her hand. And I think there is a cloud saying... no, don't look or whatever. I don't remember. For scenes, this would be good. Connection terminated, yeah. This is... I mean, I'm not saying word for word and this for this, but... yeah. It would be a good idea. Or something like... camera got disconnected. Something like that. I need to think about it. I'd rather keep all of that stuff just between me and her fault, so I hope you'll understand when I cut the scene here. Absolutely. That way I don't have to deal with it myself. It's very helpful, thank you. I can't remember the last time I slept this well. Several times my mind tries to peek its metaphorical head out from under covers of unconsciousness, then gently sinks back into that comfortable warmth without resistance or regret. I involuntarily let out a murmuring sigh, breathe in the comfortingly familiar scent that surrounds me, then nestle my non-metaphorical head deeper into the non-metaphorical pillow beneath me. The shape is a bit uneven, but it's still so nice. Wait, Why am I sleeping again? What pillow, wasn't I? The covers of the unconsciousness are abruptly pulled away, and once again I'm reluctantly pulled back in the world of the wake. Hey? Hey? Gee, don't tell me I actually fell asleep in the middle of, Therese chuckles gently and continues to stroke my hair. I'm currently lying on the sofa with my head in her lap. You might have. I mean, let's not forget, she's a succubus, right? So... mana drain and that stuff. So that explains the pillow. I flip over onto my back to get my face off of her thighs. Not that I dislike the sensation, but enemies just... You know, God, I hope I didn't roll on her skirt.
Don't worry about it. I've never seen a girl check out so quickly after finishing, so it was a bit alarming when you just slammed down against me like that. But it was honestly kinda adorable too.
She brushes a look of my monochrome bangs out of my eyes.
I didn't do the usual succubus stuff and take any of your mana because it seemed like you were tired enough already. Well, more so than usually seem. Guess I made the right choice.
So embarrassing! I resist the urge to cover my face with an arm. I mean... Yeah, I've had to be on pretty alert for a while.
So I've been told? Could you tell me more if that's okay?
Right, the maze. Can't hide much from her, can I? So do I tell her? Will she understand? I swallow a still lump in my throat and sit up. If she really cares for me, then she will, and if she doesn't, then nothing changes. I reach for the few articles of my clothing that were removed. It was much, no real chance to get naked here, and refasten my cape. Basically just the cape. As much as I'd love to lie there for a while longer, this doesn't feel like the sort of conversation that would be good to have while pantyless and lap pillowing. Come on! You only got rid of the cape! Anyway. I'll get right to the point. Jeanne has been making attempts on my life for a few days now. Therese stares blankly at me, and takes a while for her to respond. Plenty of time for the discomfort to start creeping in. Okay, we don't know if it was her still. It's just your assumption, that's the problem.
I won't say that you're mistaken, but... an accusation like that has to be taken very seriously.
This is about what I was afraid of. Yeah, I mean, I understand completely, but I don't have any reason to lie about this.
Lucy, I know that you two don't get along very well, and she does make jokes along those lines sometimes, but I recommend not taking everything she says at face value. That's just how she is. She says a lot of things that she doesn't really mean, but she can be trusted when it really comes down to it.
Even though everything she did was try to implicate you.
Excuse me?
The day before her first attack, she took me aside to tell me about how you killed the previous Demon Lord, told me to watch out for you.
Lucy,
Hold on, look, I don't care that you killed him. I never knew the guy, and I already know how much you hated his guts. It's just that kind of word after all. But if a general is allowed to kill a Demon Lord and get away with it, is it so far-fetched to say that Jen might be trying to do the same now? If I'm the obstacle between her and that crusade she's apparently so passionate about, it only makes sense that she'd want me gone.
I can try to talk with her, but you have to understand that I can't just condemn my best friend over circumstantial evidence even from you.
Yeah, circumstantial evidence. How frustrating. It's clear that she doesn't believe me. I mean, again, you don't really have any evidence. That's true. You can tell her about the cat. That's it. Alright, fine. I'll continue to handle things as I have been then.
Look, leaving you in danger is the last thing I want to do. We can assign your guards and start investigating the problem. It's just that we can't be too hasty to point fingers.
That's true. Fine. I kind of just want this conversation to be over now, so I can only repeat my information. Even if I never expected Therese to take my side, it's still painful to be right. If that's that, then I'll be going now. If it turns out I'm wrong, I'll gladly possess both you and Zen, if I'm even still alive to do so. A maid is sent to accompany me as I leave the room. I don't know how much she'll be able to do if we're attacked, but just having someone with me is good for some peace of mind at least. I feel like I did a decent job of not getting too overly emotional back there. By that I mean at least I didn't start crying again. Ultimately, this isn't a setback. I'll keep doing what I've been doing. If I'm lucky, Jen will eventually slip up somehow and I'll be able to take matters into my own hands. If I'm not lucky, then I die.
Oh, well, who cares?
Hey, gee, don't you think you settled too much back there? Vitality points. When did she get behind me? Where did the maid go? What do you want from me? At this point, I'm not sure whether I'm terrified or just really mad. Probably both. What do you want? Why did you once slather me like there was no tomorrow? Just kidding. You were right. Great job figuring it out, little Miss Master Detective. Oh, alright. Nice. So in the end, it was her. Sadly enough. I may be the demon general in charge of scouting, but when it comes to assassination, prolonged stealth, and misdirection, clearly just ain't my style. Couldn't even fool someone as simple as you. Poisoning is so lame, and I never was. Oh, but great with magic. A good blade or two is way more reliable, really, so I'm just gonna come right out and say it. I reflexively take a step back as soon as I start to hear an extra edge to Zen's words. And it's a good thing I did. In the time it takes me to blink, her daggers have already sliced through the air where my stomach was. I'm sure my shell could have taken a hit, but the mental image of being gutted like a fish nevertheless chills me to the core. My fight or flight reflex, perhaps running on fumes of frustration and sleep deprivation, ends up picking the former of the two. Options: I take a stance and ready one of the spells I used in my bout with the hero. Taking matters into my own hands, right? I may be a coward, but I'm not weak. Zen may be one of the demon generals, but I'm the demon lord. I jump back as far as possible and fire several bolts of darkness at Jen, almost too hurriedly to aim properly, but it doesn't really matter. She effortlessly cuts through all the projectiles with a single swing of her blade, without even slowing down, and they dissipate into nothing. Okay, fight it is then. I turn tail and run. Come on now, you didn't even try! Get back here, you little coward! Zen is a fast runner, but I've got superior magical enhancements and my innate knowledge of everything in the castle on my side. I've never run this fast in my life, even if it's not saying much. Panicking almost too much to think, I quickly reach out my senses to look for someone. Anyone nearby! There! Grusha is in the hallway nearby! I skid around the corner and take off again in his direction. Help! Please stop her! Her? Get lost, this lady! Going for a jog indoors, crazy, right? She was crying for help. She must really hate exercising, huh? Well, catch you later. I gotta go. Remind her, take it easy and stay hydrated. Bye! Seeing that Jen is no longer behind me, I assume that Grusha must have indeed stopped her and quickly take as many turns as I can to shake her off my trail. What a terrible assumption, really. Definitely making an ass out of you and me about now. Oi! Don't forget! Demon General in charge of scouting here. There is nowhere you could possibly get to that I wouldn't be able to track you down. Not that you're getting to anywhere else anytime soon, cause this is holy a dead end. She's right. Oh shit, what a stupid mistake. Can't you like warp through the... Would it be considered teleportation? Supposedly we can't teleport, but what if you tried to warp through the wall? Just, you know, not teleportation, really open the path. Make the door. Something like that. I'll ask again, what do you want from me? If you want me to actually step down or leave or whatever, I'll do it. I don't think you're in the position to be asking questions, boss, but sure, I'll humor ya. It's simple, you're useless, demon lord. Just stepping down won't be enough. I'm gonna be the one taking your place. Seeing the lack of understanding on my face, Zen sighs and Didi balances the dagger on her fingertip as she explains. The stuff that makes you a demon lord is pretty easy for any demon to use. All I got to do is cut out the part of you where the power comes from and make it part of me instead. Simply put, I got at your heart. It's not personal for boss, hurts you more than it hurts me and all of that. Or was it the other way around? Me more than you? After all, it's probably gonna taste super nasty. Gonna eat way more than a little ketchup. No offense, of course. And what makes you think you will get away with this without being found out? Tres might have not believed me back then, but it's the last thing I did before Rank was pointing the finger at you. That looked pretty damn suspicious, don't you think?
Who cares? If the others find out, you think they'll even do anything about it? Frankly, they're just as wishy-washy and terrible as you are. Just silly sitting around for years at a time whenever we don't have a demon lord. Like children, we need parents' consideration for literally every little thing.
You have a point.
But you see, as much as they complained about your previous boss, he did things right. He let us into the battle.
Is that true?
He let us do what we wanted, take what we wanted, and we got stuff done. But then Trace had to go and fucking vaporize the guy just cause he tried to push her down once, whatever. What a load of crap. So yeah, I'll take your plates and then we can go back to the good old days without you. None of them will ever have the guts to tell me I can't.
She drops the dagger from its perch on her fingertip and grabs it again with a flourish as she takes a step forward.
Now come on, have a heart, boss. And let me eat it!
Yikes.
Then we can cut through anyone else's shell like paper gets you're tougher than I gave you credit for. But if you're gonna try to fight back anymore, I guess I just gotta keep slicing.
Ah,
Shit, come on!
I make an effort, but Zen's daggers are way too fast for me to be able to dodge them like I could the hero's sword. However, despite the onslaught, my shell remains intact. I had no idea it was this durable, but this isn't the best situation to be testing its limits. I'm backed in the corner, but if she can't hurt me, then maybe taking her on won't be as hopeless as I thought. Even a mouse has funks when it's cornered. Is that so? Before I can fire off a single spell, however, Zen moves back to make some distance from me in an instant.
Guess this was a lost cause after all. Whatever, back to the subterfuge bullshit, I suppose. Is subterfuge the right word for it? Doesn't matter anyway. You better keep that indestructible shell of yours prepped and ready at all times from now on, cause the moment you let it slip, you're toast.
Zen turns sharply round to leave, and her daggers vanish back in the nothingness they came from once more.
Oh, and one more thing, no need to bother trying to tell anyone else about this. If even Tress won't believe you, then no one will, right?
Actually, there is one. And with that ominous chuckle, she's gone. In an instant, I can feel that she's already a significant distance away. Tress was very clear about self-teleportation being impossible, so she must just be that fast, meaning she was only toying with me during our chase. My knees give out, and I slide down the back wall of the dead end that was nearly my dead end, dropping to the floor. I'm alive, but this feeling of helplessness and dread, it's probably the same way that the hero felt when I had her pinned. I can't help but shudder at the thought. But if I, perhaps pushed beyond the point of rational thought, and holding on to that brief moment where I'd worked up the result fight, consider it in a different way. I feel helplessness and dread, but I'm alive. That is what is important. For all of this, I have yet to suffer a single scratch. Maybe I'm alone, maybe nobody believes me, but I am alive. Zen has been trying so hard to intimidate me, to make me think she has full control of the situation, but she just backed me in the corner and she couldn't kill me. Her previous assassination attempts weren't much better. She tried to poison my food and that didn't work. So what? What? She just kept doing it? As if I'd fall for it eventually, please. Pelting me with wimpy magic projectiles that I couldn't even feel through my shell, without showing her face, pretending they were from Tress, as if I'd believe for a second that Tress would do something like that. Oh wait, I did kind of believe it for a bit, didn't I? And she thought that just hiding her presence would keep me from figuring out that she was up to something. She even had me tired and worn out from the stress, in the perfect condition to let my guard down. But how did she capitalize on this? By giving up on the stealth entirely and just coming at me directly. How childish. She may be good at pushing people's buttons, and she may have skills in a fight, but she's impatient and overconfident. Maybe that would usually be enough for her, but I'm alive. All this time, I've been living my life here as if I was the same me that I was back home, a powerless, emotional wreck, but that's not what I am anymore. Okay, I'm definitely still kind of an emotional wreck, that part of me isn't going away anytime soon. But that's not the point is... I'm the demon lord, aren't I? Maybe it's about time I started acting like it. Hey, even if I screw this up, at least I won't be dying as a virgin, right? Okay, yeah, totally, yeah. We have something in common, Demon Lord. We have something in common. Anywho, let's end the episode.
we'll see where this is going tomorrow. That's right. Maybe there will be another battle. Maybe we'll actually go and get Zen to take over the world. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, she said she will be acting like a demon lord, so maybe. For then, I assume our hero from the party will not be very happy about that. Unless he will be, because there is one kingdom of sorts that he wants to, you know, have a revenge of sorts of. We'll see. For now, hope you all enjoyed. Consider liking the video if you did. That's always helpful for the channel. Subscribe if you're new over here. That will be very much appreciated. You know, every new person subscribing helps, obviously, with the growth. And, well, it's definitely making me super thankful. Did you expect, like, all her allegations to be the truth? Like, this is Zhen, definitely Zhen that's attacking me. I was like, are we sure about that? You know, maybe it's not her. I just don't like jumping the gun to situations like that. Okay, that's not true. I jumped the gun like that as well. I just didn't want Zhen to be the one. Something like that, I guess. With that being said, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, in the description if you're into that stuff, you can follow me there as well. And, of course, the game is linked as well. It's on itch.io for $69. Go and buy it too. Not sponsored or anything, by the way. Alright, I wish you all a wonderful day, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video as well. Bye-bye.